Good evening. My name is Zephania Mwando. That's what I'm doing. An introduction first, then I got straight to the base business. So I'm Zephania Mwando. I'm a pre-sales engineer at Dahua Technology, Kenya, covering the Eastern Africa region. And today I'll be taking you through this financial solution. So I call it a financial center networking management solution, the version 2. I was planning to share another presentation, but due to unavoidable circumstances, I will use this. The solution is still the same. So stay tuned. In case you have questions, feel free to ask. And in the event that you don't ask, at the end of the session, I'm going to allow a chance so that you can ask your questions after this session. So stay tuned and let us go through this presentation. Okay, so we'll start. So this is what I'm going to cover. Generally, the background, the solution design. Then I will also mention the successful case of a financial network solution. Maybe in future, we are going to look at smart bank solutions to be specific on one branch, but this solution still covers the general picture of a banking solution. So stay tuned. Now, the background of this training is we look at the challenges we face. Sorry about that. We look at the challenges we face in the bank industry because it keeps growing. There's a lot of innovation, but what solution do we have? And why do we have this solution? So things like inadequate proactive incident prevention, weak security systems, in terms of intelligence, it's low. We have high monitoring tasks, but again, the traditional system is really complex. You have to seek authorization from who, then you have to request and all that. So all this is tedious, and for efficiency in the security industry, it's not good enough. That's why we come up with a central network solution where we can manage all this from any point of the branch, as long as you have the correct authorization and access. Then we have lack of internal operational supervision in the banks. Then also customer experience is poor. So what can we do? What can Dahua as a company do to give the end user solution where they can actually give the customer the best experience? So I'll move on. Some more challenges. Looking at number one is fuzziness. So the images that we get are not that clear. That's from the existing systems. Then we have a lot of disputes because we require high storage requirements for banks. I think it's also a government requirement that they have big storage. I think for a specific period, like 3 months, then they can have their own policy up to 1 year storage. So this is really expensive. So how are we solving it? Then in terms of bandwidth, we have challenges because a branch is in a remote area, then connecting to that branch, you understand that the bandwidth available should be used for operations at the same time, security. So how are we going to make sure that we give these banks the best solution? So we do high compression. Then in terms of management, it's usually, conventionally, it's hard to manage the banks and everything. So what we are doing is we give them a central management system that will manage their security CCTV, to manage their access control. If they have video intercom requirements, alarm systems, everything we give them as a package. Then the design of this solution is like this. So we have different parts of the bank. Number one is the ATM area. In the ATM area, we do covert camera, that is the pinhole cameras. We have some models of these pinhole cameras. We have behavior analysis camera, so it's studying people who are coming in and out of the ATM. Then we have Wizmind and VRs. Then on the counter area, we look at things like a dome, high definition dome camera, dual recording camera, so that records both the teller and the customer. Then when we go to the lobby, we can give them a wide angle view using the fisheye camera. We also install some smart digital signage, which with this digital signage, we can do some advertisement and introduction. Then we have at the entrance where we do things like people counting and face recognition. Then outside the bank area, like outside the branch, we do panoramic monitoring, 360, 180 degrees. We have these products for that. Then in the security center and other key areas that are secured in the bank, we can do biometric access control. We can also do high definition video compression servers in the security center, so that we are saving on storage that is consumed in the bank. Then now the topology. This is how we would have. Number one is, because this is a central network solution, we have the central monitoring station provisionally or most likely at the headquarters of the bank. Then at each branch, we have different operations. So we've reviewed what happens at the branch from the ATM, the counter, the sensitive areas, at the lobby, at the entrance, and the outdoor area. Then we do high level compression, so that because bandwidth is limited, that's why we introduce a video compression server. We call it IVSS, the Intelligent Video Surveillance Server. With this, we even have something called QLIN, that is a financial network solution for scenarios where we have low bandwidth. We can introduce this, then we solve the customer's key problem of transmission and storage. Then with this, we connect to a bank network. Of course, bank networks usually are private. So with that, then we go to the headquarters. At the headquarters, we run DSS running on main and standby, so that why we run it on main and standby is if the main server fails, there is a failover server that is backing it up, so that we don't have challenges of I have set up the main server has failed, so they don't have any mechanism. So we try to look at this. Then we have EVS, that's embedded video storage. We have these storage servers starting from 16 bay, 24 bay, 36 bay, 48 bay, and 85 bay. And these have the capacity of carrying up to 1024 channels based on the model. But then for each, let's say at 24 bay, we can have a maximum of 18 TB per slot. So I think that if you're looking for bank requirements, then we can meet the different requirements. Then we access DSS with the DSS client. Then we can have NKB, that's network keyboard, which you can use to control maybe cameras like PTZ, the 360, and all that. Then, of course, because we are doing a central networking, central management of all branches, maybe monitoring, we have a video which is controlled by a matrix or a decoder. So this general overview of the bank solution in total. Then now let's review each of these scenarios one by one, starting from the financial tower. We have augmented reality view. So for the scenario, we're looking at maybe it's a big building which has a massive compound. We can install long distance monitoring, panoramic actually, where we give them 360 degrees. Then we do an augmented reality, like what you can see on the first screen here, where we have the big cameras, like a virtual view of how it would appear, even label some key points. Then we monitor that. Then the value of this is we're going to control the whole general area, monitor and also send alerts in the event we have an incident, an event, and all that. And all of this is happening on a central management platform that I will tell you more about. We also have the surrounding where we do maybe dual micro PTZ. Like this new dual micro PTZ has two lanes, one fixed lens and another one, which is varifocal. So at any given time, even if the varifocal is moving, we are still monitoring the other areas. Then we do complete monitoring. We can also do ANPR, that's automatic number plate recognition. We can do face recognition with this product. So at different entrance and exit, we can install this camera and do details. We generate general details. We do a panoramic kind of setup, so we get a wide angle. So I believe this is a key product to network bank solution. Then for the non-cash product counter, that is maybe we do dual recording. Number one, we have the POS or the retail solution. If you look at this screen, we have some information getting tallied on top of the camera overlay. This is just the transactions getting recorded on the system in real time. So we can also do this so that we back up the manual system that's being handled in the bank. Then look at the highlights. We do automatic upload. So the branch transaction interaction video automatically uploaded to a headquarters server at a fixed time every day. Then the video recording in local video recorder in management platform achieve dual backup. So we have two copies, one at the headquarters and one at the branch. Then for manual, if the bank allows customer manager to upload video to headquarters, we can also do manual backup where maybe just select a specific period, then send to headquarters so that they have that level of backup. Then in the restricted areas now in detail, of course, we install an access control at the door. Inside, we do maybe motion detectors. We do emergency or panic button. Then, of course, we install a CCTV system for that. Then with that, we do linkage of all this. So we link the alarm, access control, and CCTV together so that in the event that someone tries to key in the fingerprint and they are not authorized, we send a trigger so that someone checks who is at that door, of course, supplemented by CCTV. Then we have precision marketing. Of course, we do target advertising because of the data we collect from fisheye. So with this fisheye, we can do people counting so that we know how many people are in the bank at any given time. We can also do line crossing people counting, where if someone comes into the bank, we count how many came in, how many went out. Then we can use heat map to see which parts of the bank are very busy, which other parts are not busy. Then we can introduce some digital advertisement in the parts that are very busy so that we get more reach. So we are marketing our products as a bank to the end user using this. Then we have key personnel detection. Of course, queue management is also there. So we can also do queue management so that we monitor the cashiers as people are queuing so that we know which cashier queue is slow and then we send action on it. So the network topology, this is how it would look like from the central monitoring station to branch business outlets. So we have the end products, of course, face recognition, people counting, and queue management, compressed using the video compression server and sent to HQ. At HQ, we compare, maybe we do blacklist. So for example, with face recognition, we can blacklist someone from one branch, then we send to HQ. HQ do a release of maybe they set up a trigger so that if this face shows up in any branch, we trigger an alarm. So we send that event, then we stay on alert. Now, if you walked into a branch maybe in Nairobi today, tomorrow you walk into another branch in Mombasa, it will trigger an alarm and they will stop you from getting into that, or they take the necessary action required. That's why we have feature comparison and face application server. Of course, a cloud database. So DSS supports both local and also independent database deployment. Then for digital signage and SMS, we can have an information release server connected to HQ, where if HQ update, everything is sent to all the branches. Then we look at the ATM area. The full view is we have the cash replenish area. That's where the ATMs are loaded with more cash by bank staff. Of course, we do surveillance of that area and also access control. Then we have protected bulkhead ATM. So we have the public ATM and also bulkhead ATM. So if you're going to withdraw a lot of money, you get into the protected area. Of course, we do monitor face recognition. We must do mosaic, where we do some privacy for the banker at the same time still monitoring. Then outside, we do automatic number plate recognition and behavior analysis. Behaviors you're looking at are things like people standing too close, rapid falling, for fighting and all that. Any violent behavior, the camera can detect and send an alert. Then outside the ATM, we still do general surveillance. Then on the ATM machines, we install covert pinhole cameras and also panic buttons. Then the topology of this solution is we have the ATM and the monitoring center. From the ATM, we also have an alarm center. So from the ATM, look at the devices we're installing. Pinhole cameras, high definition and AI cameras, behavior analysis cameras, emergency call. This, of course, is a video intercom feature. Then we have the alarm system. We have access control. So look at what, this is the typical scenario. We have a handing room, the surrounding of the ATM, inside the ATM, and also cash replenishment, which we send to the monitoring center. Of course, we have DSS. We have a matrix or a decoder for the video. Then we connect to DSS client, and we monitor on the alarm center from the client. Then we can know if any of these triggers is sent. Then transaction information overlay, this we're looking at the POS solution. So we have fast link video according transaction data. So if you switch, you dispense cash and all that, we keep tracking that, then we can always play back, so that disputes of maybe I took this money at this time, but you didn't, can be proved. So we have that powerful evidence kind of scenario for that case, which in so many ways would save the bank from a lot of conflict with the customers, and also protect the customer in the event that there is maybe a malfunction or an error. Then we have emergency call. Of course, in case we have an incident, we send panic information details to headquarters. Then the call center would help respond. And inside the call center, we also have the monitoring center, who are also looking at the different feeds that you get. So in terms of support, we are looking at the call center can also help this customer do transaction if they are unable to use the ATM machine. Then in the event of an incident, we can call the call center to help you maybe get your card back if it is swallowed and all that. Then we have multi-user access. So we have access control installed with face recognition. Of course, it will give us a video feed. Then we have multiple people coming in. So if we have all of them, we have the first person key in. We recognize their face and also they attach a fingerprint, or they can do fingerprint and PIN. They can do PIN and card. So it's based on the customer's preference. Then once the 3 people are authorized, then the door can open. So we can do such kind of locking, or we control the door so that if 2 people are standing too close to each other and we only allow 1 person at a time, the door does not unlock until they separate. Then the monitoring station. So we have a lot of information, things like live view recording, ATM recording, device status, access control, attendance management, video intercom, and alarms are monitored from one platform. We can also create pop-ups so that when there's an incident, it pops up on the DSS platform. Then we can also do playback search. of these recordings, of course, we keep recording over time. We do monitor device health on DSS Pro, so that if a camera goes offline or a device goes offline, we can tell. We know the online rate, the offline rate that we have on the server. So this is how the dashboard would look like for device health monitoring. We have user online status, VR online, recording status, disk status. So we are virtually monitoring everything from one central point. So I think this still proves efficient for a bank in that case. Then we have employee attendance with face recognition. So we can just set up access control devices, attendance devices as attendance point. Then we do attendance time, which brings me to one key point. All Dahua access control devices, we can achieve time and attendance solution. Only that if it does not have inbuilt time attendance solution, we set them as attendance point, then do attendance on a platform like DSS. We have smart PSS for that case. Then we can do shifts and all that. Then we generate attendance report. We can also integrate with third-party systems like a human resource system, CRM system, and then we can also integrate with payroll system for all those cases based on actual site requirements. Then we have high definition upgrade. So we update the old system. Maybe they have the old HD cameras or analog cameras. Then we connect to a hybrid recorder like XVR. Then we still do intelligence on the XVR and transmit this to headquarters. We can also use IP system, of course. Then we get some highlights like SMD plus, that's smart motion detection plus. We have active deterrence, we have RAID, we have perimeter protection. We have things like video metadata, automatic number plate recognition, people counting, and RAID. Then we have high definition compression server. This helps us compress video, still maintaining quality. So this, we call it the QLIN solution. If you're interested in the QLIN solution, we can coordinate so that I show you how we can save the bandwidth requirement up to 10 times. So, and the cost also goes low. We have this complete solution for banks. Then things we do edge AI, that is AI at the end devices. Then we do structure videos and record key details. Then we diagnose video quality so that errors like video is blurred, abnormal brightness, noise, and all that, we send triggers, report to the branch office, then we escalate and fix the errors. Then things like RAID, a concept where we group disks, it's called independent array of redundant disks. So we group disks maybe in 3s, 5s, based on the RAID you choose. We have RAID 0, 1, 5, 6, 10, even now we have more. So that if one disk degrades, then we can still rely on the other disk. Then we send alarm events to the platform, of course. In the event we have an error, then we also introduce hot spare for data security, so that if one disk fails, the hot spare takes over until you replace the original RAID information. So some key products we have for this solution, we have things like transaction video recording camera, the WizMind X series cameras, then fisheye, face recognition access control, pinhole cameras, dual lens cameras, panoramic PTZ, NVR Series 5, IVSS, QLIN IVSS, let me call it, digital signage, and of course, DSS, DSS Professional, which is the key video management system. Then we look at some successful cases. Number one is Bank of China Smart Network Banking Solution. So we have the general bank solution and some project achievements for that. This has been achieved in China. Then we have in Kuwait, we also have a bank solution. We have it in India, of course. Then in Kenya again, we have a successful bank project that's still in the last phases. But generally, if you have requirements about a bank solution starting from branch to headquarter, then we can diagnose, troubleshoot, and give customers feedback. So that brings me to the end of today's training. So if you have any question, now is the time to ask. So I'll just allow you to unmute yourself. Then if you want, you can ask questions here and I'll be able to respond. If you have, just unmute and ask, please. Do we have any? If you don't have any question, then I'll call this the end of today's training session. Okay, so thank you for attending this training. See you again in the next training session. Stay tuned for more solutions. And if you have specific requirements about such trainings, then please let me know so that I can help you get these solutions and give your end user a complete solution from Dahua technology. So thank you and have a nice evening.
Sir?
Sorry, you have a question?
Yeah, no, sir. Is that impossible to get the resource?
Yes. Please just comment in the chat your email before I end the meeting, then I'll be able to share the resource. It's okay, I'll share.
Can I write my email on chat?
Yes, just drop it on chat. I will do a summary and then I send to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for attending today's training. Okay. Anyone else, you can just drop your email on the chat, then I'll share. Nice. So for the rest, the meeting is come to an end. So feel free to exit